My name is Linda Lohr, and I am a second-generation Hmong American. So my project, when I was applying for the fellowship, initially I wanted to make like the Hmong version of IMDb. I just thought that it was valuable because, a lot of Hmong movies only exist in like VHS form or DVD, and nobody really uses that anymore. And so I wanted to put a place for them to exist online for everyone to access. This was really important to me because even before hearing about this fellowship program, I already knew that I wanted to pursue my project. I had just graduated college, majored in computer science, and I knew that I wanted to use my technical coding skills to do something for my community. And so as an avid Hmong movie watcher, it just kind of fell naturally to me that I wanted to make a website for Hmong movies. That was kind of like how my grandpa would spend time with us, I guess. If it wasn't like going outside and fishing, it was watching Hmong movies. And so some of my favorite would be like Nian Kao Shou Pa, Dropli, and yeah, just those two really, I watched them all the time. Once I started working on this project, it grew out of like the IMDb kind of scape, but more about like how to address our community's needs. Like, what does a website for Hmong people look like for the older Hmong generation, for people who want to watch a Hmong movie but don't know the title, for people who don't know how to write in Hmong, right? But one of the biggest things that I have been learning from the workshops and the support is just how to catalog and archive and preserve history better. As someone who does do coding and is more in the digital space, I feel like I take a lot of things for granted, like if I take photos, I can always look back at it on my camera roll, but that's not always the case for, artifacts. And so, yeah, I hope from this fellowship, I become a lot more well-versed on how to preserve the history. As a second-generation Hmong American, I feel like I can only imagine what the late 90s and early 2000s was like. Kind of through looking at the history of the movies and kind of the stories they tell, I've really been able to see like what kind of stories were important during the 90s, where were they living, and what kind of styles of clothes people were wearing, and also like how the Hmong language was like being used at the time. It's really important because these stories are like technically being erased, right? Going extinct because of the act of decluttering, basically. And as a result, I feel like a lot of people, especially younger generations, don't really have that many options of like Hmong media to consume. And as a result, we have less exposure to our language, less exposure to, the types of storytelling and types of stories that are valuable to our community. So that's kind of like what I aim to do with my project is, give more exposure to these movies and continue letting them live in a space that is accessible to everyone.